Alright, we are here with more Rise of Shadows card reviews. We are on to the neutral cards. There's quite a lot of neutral cards, so even more so than the rest of these reviews, I'm going to get through them nice and quickly. Just a quick overview, and if you are interested in any of the class cards, please check out the channel. It's got all of those up there as well. First card, Whirlwind Tempest, an 8 mana 6/6. Your minions with Wind Fury have Mega Wind Fury. I believe Mega Wind Fury lets them attack 4 times. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you've got some Wind Fury minions in play, your opponent's probably dead. Whether or not you'll have too many Wind Fury minions in play, who knows? I think this is a bit more of a win more card, but I'll give it a shot. I'll try it out. I want to kill people with Mega Wind Fury. Hell yeah. Violet Warden, 6 mana, 4/7, taunt, spell damage +1. Interesting defensive body. Spell damage +1. Not when you're getting to 6, 7, 8 mana. Oftentimes these low amounts of spell damage don't really do too much. But at the very least, you can fire off a 5 damage flame strike the next turn. So who knows? Violet Spell Sword. Excellent artwork here. 4 mana, 1/6. Battlecry. Gain +1 attack for each spell in your hand. So this is kind of like a spell brainstormer, I think it was. Kind of like a Twilight Drake, things like that. Turn 4, let's just say you're playing control and you haven't really deployed any of your spells. Maybe you've got 2 to 3 in your hand. You can play this as a 4 mana 3/6, 4/6, 5/6. I mean, it's only bad if it's like a 2. If it's a 2/6, it's a bad Stegodon. If it's a 3/6, it's a bad Water Elemental. So it really has to be, you have to have 3 spells in your hand to make this remotely worth it. And that might be a bit too much effort, to be honest. Next we have Underbelly Ooze. After this minion, 7 mana, 3/5. After this minion survives damage, summon a copy of it. Interesting. So this is like a pylon, get in here, Grim Patron. There we go, we found it. It's like a Grim Patron, but it costs more, but it does have 5 toughness, which means that it survives a couple more effects. We can combine this in Warrior with our self-damaging effects to summon a couple of these on the turn that that we play it. Whether flooding your board with a bunch of 3/5s is good, unsure. Depends how much unconditional, twisting nether style removal effects we see, and brawls and things like that. If people are relying on more damage based hellfires, lightning storms, this kind of stuff, could be pretty good. One to keep an eye on. Tunnel Blaster. 7 mana, 3/7 with taunt. Death Rattle, deal 3 damage to all minions. So very similar to Chillmore, with a worse body, but it doesn't require an enabler. We saw a lot of Death Rattle synergies in a lot of the different classes. We saw, in Hunter with the 9 lives, we could 9 lives with this, and we get another one in our hand, and we deal 3 damage to all minions, which could be a good flashpoint. We'd get it for 3 mana as well. Yeah, interesting. I think this card might actually be a bit of an enabler. Kind of like a Primordial Drake-esque effect as well. I really like it. And once again, more reason to be packing those Spellbreakers on day 1. Spellbook Binder, 2 mana, 3/2. If you have Battlecry, if you have spell damage, draw a card. I love it. Good body. Spell damage seems like a bit more of a theme for Mage. With the twin spell Archivist or whatever, the one that gives +3 spell damage, with Cosmic Anomaly, and the existing spell damage cards. Yeah, I think this is great and totally reasonable body. So pretty sick. Recurring Villain, 5 mana, 3/6, Death Rattle. If this minion has 4 or more attack, resummon it. What's the easiest way to give this attack? Well, we saw Druid had the twin spell card that gave all your minions +1/+1. Also has a lot of other effects that do buff attack and defense. Is this Death Rattle worth it? Maybe not. Unsure. Cute card though. Portal Overfiend. Ooh, that is just a piece of artwork right there. It's a 6 mana, 5/6. Battlecry. Shuffle 3 portals into your deck. When drawn, summon a 2/2 demon with Rush. So this is quite good with the plot twist, where you shuffle everything back in and draw a bunch of cards, because it makes you highly likely to draw a portal. Pretty reasonable stats as well. 6 mana, 5/6 is a demon. And those demons that you summon when you draw the portal also have Rush. So I think this could actually be a bit of a build around me type card. It's, not too overcosted, not too understated. The benefit is pretty reasonable. Yeah, I like this one. This is really cool. All right, behind it. Portal Keeper, more portals. 4 mana, 5/2, so worse stats. Battlecry, shuffle 3 portals into your deck when drawn. Yep, so this looks like a bit more of the theme for Warlock, is getting a bunch of portals into your deck and vomiting things into play. Heroic Innkeeper, 8 mana, 4/4. Interesting. Oh, she's got a knife in the broom. Nice. Taunt, Battlecry, get +2/+2 for each other friendly minion. Okay, could be good if you've got at least 2 minions out. 8 mana, 6/6 with Taunt's not great. 8 mana, 8/8 with Taunt I can get behind. Anything bigger than that, though, it's pretty big. Unfortunately, we've already seen, how good Frostwolf Warlord was in Odd Paladin, so it required quite a lot of, an excellent hero power to make it really good. I don't know if 8 mana's a lot. Like, people are clearing boards for that much mana and less, so unsure. Hench Clan Sneak, 3 mana, 3/3 with Stealth. Okay. We've seen 3 mana stealth minions be good before. They're kind of a guaranteed damage. Jungle Panther, you can just play it. If your opponent doesn't play a taunt, you can get 4 damage in. But I think if that's the case, you'd probably rather play Jungle Panther. And we've seen the Wasp be okay as well as something to trade in, and I don't think the 3/3 stats get there. Flightmaster, 3 mana, 3/4. Battlecry, summon a 2/2 Griffin for each player. So obviously if you have more the Mage, summon more of your minions type effect, could be good. You get the first, if you are ahead on board, like if you've already played your 2-drop and it's like an Amani Berserker, this is great because you can immediately trade with that Griffin, and now you have your turned on Amani Berserker, a Flightmaster, so a 3/4 and a 2/2. So I think if there's a very the Druid deck's very token-centric, very, playing a lot of early minions, it could be really good. Even though it does seem horrible. Keep an eye out for this one. Faceless Rager. 3 mana, 5/1. Battlecry, copy a friendly minion's health. Wow, okay. I saw the word Rager and I was like, whatever. But copy a friendly minion's health. We did see that Rogue, the one that gave you the lackeys, is a 1/5. It's pretty reasonable follow-up. You can have a 3 mana 5/5 on turn 4. And if you've got a lackey in hand, you combine it with a lackey. If we see any, combines well with Twilight Drake, if we see any hand style effects, Twilight Drake, Mountain Giant, both quite combine quite well with this. But it is a bit more of a win more card, it seems. Still could be pretty fun. Eccentric Scribe, 6 mana, 6/4. Death Rattle, summon 4, 1/1, Vengeful Scrolls. Do the scrolls do anything? Let's find out. Vengeful Scroll Hearthstone. What do they do? I'm not too sure if this has been spoiled yet, so can't really say anything. If they're just 1/1s, then it's actually kind of cool. If they're 1/1s that do something, it's even better. Deloraine Crusader, 5 mana, 5/4 with Divine Shield. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's pretty good. Actually, really well statted. Surprisingly well statted. With Divine Shield as well. Who knows? This could actually have a place in maybe some mid-range decks. Brutally Shovel Fist. Yeah, he does want to put those Shovel Fists in you. 9 mana, 9/9 with Rush. Well, any of our decks that are trying to cheat minions into play, or summon copies of minions in our deck, this is probably what you want to be summoning. We lose Charged Devil's Oil, which is probably a good thing, because you don't want to have all of those effects that summon minions give you a huge charge minion that you can slay your opponent with. Instead, just getting a rush minion that at least will be able to trade with things on board, probably not die as well because it's got 9 toughness. I think it's really good. I think that this will probably be one of the choice cards to get with those style of effects. Azurite Elemental. 5 mana, 2/7 at the start of your turn, gain spell damage +2. Does have a big booty. This is pretty interesting. It's going to get out of control if your opponent doesn't deal with it, but they might actually. I think this could be pretty good. Even though it does cost so much, because you need to wait a turn in order to get a benefit anyway, you're likely not going to deploy spells with this. But the next turn, if your opponent doesn't do anything about it, all of a sudden you have 2 spell damage and full mana, which could be pretty sick. Whether or not the mage decks out there need to go this deep for spell damage, though, I'm unsure of, but an interesting option regardless. Arcane Servant, 2 mana, 2/3 elemental. Sure, some options out there if you want more elementals. Toxaphene, Murloc, 1 mana, 1/2. Battlecry give a friendly Murloc poisonous. This is tremendous. Even on turn 1 or 1/2, look, if you have to, it's fine, but giving one of those random 1/1 Chud Murlocs poisonous is, we've seen people, games won or lost based off of people getting poisonous off of a Crackling Razor Maw, and this just straight up gives poisonous, so love it. Toxaphene, keep an eye out. Safeguard. Alright, is this the thing that was on Togwaggle's head? This is ridiculous. 6 mana, 4/5 Taunt. Okay. Death Rattle, summon a 0/5 Vault Safe with Taunt. I assume it's just a 0/5. It doesn't have any other effects. Yeah, big Sludge Belcher. Once again, if we've got, those 9 live style effects, those Death Rattle dependent effects, I mean, this could be an option as a very defensive one. Summon a bunch of things your opponent has to battle through. 6 mana, though. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be relevant on turn 6 with your opponent's 5 drops attacking into it. Yeah, I can get behind the Safeguard. Could be an option. Sun Reaver Spy. 2 mana, 2/3. Battlecry. If you control secret, gain +1/+1. Ooh, this is a nice one. I love this. Between this and Secret Keeper in, say, Paladin, where your secrets are a lot easier to deploy, that you can play, the A secret on turn 1 or the random secret twin spell card on turn 1, and then you get to follow that up into a 2 mana 3/4. Yeah, this is tasty. Secret decks are looking very nice. Sunreaver Horde Mage, 5 mana 4/4 Battlecry. If you're holding a spell that costs 5 or more, deal 4 damage. I mean, we've played a lot with the dragon one. If you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage. Kind of similarly statted minions as well. Yeah, this could be actually very, very good. 4 damage is a good amount. Spells that cost 5 or more, I mean, Flame Strike in Mage. Plenty of Mage spells that cost 5 or more. In Shaman, you've got Bloodlust, Hagatha's Scheme, the Lightning, Stormbringer. You actually have a lot of things, so this could be a cheeky surprise success. This could actually be a lot better than it seems. I like it at least. Mad Summoner, 6 mana, 4/4. Fill each player's board with 1/1 imps. I mean, if we want to get our Jumbo Imp down, it's pretty good. It also synergizes with the Imp Fire thing that deals 1 damage to all opponents' minions and gives all of your demons +1/+0. Unfortunately, you do have to kind of do it on the same turn, and this Mad Summoner is kind of weak. You can't even do something in Warrior with like Whirlwind or something. I guess you could play it in Mage with Arcane Explosion, but who knows? This might turn on a couple of decks, but it looks a bit risky to me. Magic Carpet, 3 mana, 1/6. After you play a 1-cost minion, give it +1 attack and rush. That's really good. That's pretty good, especially with all these lackeys around. Giving all these lackeys +1 attack and rush could be a nightmare in these aggressive mirrors. You can also start dropping buffs onto the carpet. This seems really, really quite good. Even just with Argent Squire, right? Like, make it a 2/1 with Rush and Divine Shield. Any of those 2/1s out there, make it a 3/1. Those crystallizers and things. I think Magic Carpet is pretty legit. Oh, missed one. Mana Reservoir, 2 mana, 0/6, spell damage +1. These types of cards have never really been good. Proud Defender, certainly does look proud. 4 mana, 2/6, taunt, has +2 attack while you have no other minions. Yeah, this could be the new Tar Creeper, the new very good defensive minion that comes down early. I can get behind this for sure. Might come down a bit too late, but definitely an option out there for those who do need a taunt that is probably going to trade with anything that hits it. Soldier of Fortune, literally just a elemental made of gold. 4 mana, 5/6. Whenever this minion attacks, give your opponent a coin. Usually coins pretty irrelevant in aggressive mirrors. So this could be a aggro card, a card you play against aggro decks to get the board, stop them from killing you. Can also play this with the Silence Priest. Silence this up. Attack in for no disadvantage. Interesting. Arcane Watcher, 3 mana, 5/6. Can't attack unless you have spell damage. Well, basically the same thing as this. You can silence it. I think even in a spell damage mage, yeah, maybe. I mean, it curves 3 into Cosmic Anomaly. So turn 3, play this. Turn 4, Anomaly, smash. Curves in off the Twin Spell mage as well. This could totally see some play. Very risky though. Deloraine Librarian, 2 mana, 2/3. Battlecry, silence adjacent minions. Yes, the return of the Wailing Spirit, the one that silenced all your minions. I mean, if they want to make Silence Priest or Silence Decks a thing, this card will probably be a pretty good enabler. Cheaper than Wailing Spirit as well, so I like it. Potion Vendor, 1 mana, 1/1. Battlecry, restore 2 health to all friendly characters. I mean, Fungal Enchanter was good when it enabled Happy Ghoul. People might try and do some Light Warden stuff with this, but I think the key thing is that without Happy Ghoul, the only card you'll benefit from healing yourself is Light Warden. Unless you're doing the Druid stuff where you restore health, but who knows. Legendary, Barista Lynchen. 5 mana, 4/5. Battlecry, add a copy of each of your other Battlecry minions to your hand. You've already got to have Battlecry minions in play. They're usually weak statted. Yeah, I don't see there being too much value out of this, except in a dedicated like lackey type deck where we want to have a lot of lackeys in play. If your opponent ever lets you play this with 3 or 4 of them in play, you can get some really nice value out of it. So, bit of risk reward there. Exotic Mount Seller, 7 mana, 5/8. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a random 3-cost beast. Big Vex Crow, I guess. Yeah, I think you're just better off playing Vex Crow, right? At least you can't get a Doomsayer off of this. We'll have to see how just how long you can play the game without deploying spells, I guess. Horde Clan Hag, 4 mana, 3/3, Battlecry, summon 2 1/1 amalgams with all minion types. Obviously great with those Murlocs. Great with any of these tribal synergies that are on board. Not so much with the dragon ones, I think, which are more in hand. But I like that they're bringing back the amalgams. Archivist Elysiana. I really love this card. 8 mana, 7/7. Discover 5 cards. Replace your deck with 2 copies of each. So, fantastic if you draw your whole deck and you're looking to fatigue. This is 10 more cards in the deck. Fantastic if you are playing aggressive and you run out of steam. This can kind of be like a refarm in non-warlock decks. You play this and then just try and put a bunch of burn into your deck. Yeah, interesting. It is cards, which means you're going to get your pool and the neutral pool. So you might whiff pretty hard on this, but I think it's really cool. A lot of applications there. What's next? Archmage Vargoth. At the end of your turn, cast a spell you've cast this turn. Targets are random, so if you are going to be playing this, you'd want to hope that it's in a deck with, in Mage, a lot of Arcane Missiles and Cinderstorms and stuff like that. If it is in non-Mage decks, just any spell that doesn't target. But I think it's a pretty interestingly statted card. Your opponent might not be able to kill this on the follow-up turn because of the amount of toughness that it has. And if they don't, they could be in for a bit of a hurting. If you do with those Cinderstorms and stuff like that, 2 Cinderstorms, probably better than 1. Expect this card to be at least experimented with in a lot of those Mage decks, those aggressive Mage decks. But it also has a lot of combo potential. In that, if you have some more expensive 5 or 6 mana spells, if you get to the late game, you can actually do both. So, very, very cool card. I hope to open one. Big Bad Archmage. 10 mana, 6/6. At the end of your turn, summon a random 6-cost minion. Ooh, big hogger. 6-cost minions are really good. Like we were saying before, it is kind of a flashpoint for excellent minions. You do get advantage immediately in that you do get something, but you don't get to interact with that. I think it could still be quite good as just a threat that your opponent has to answer unless it just snowballs. Also, if you get a Sunwalker off of this, your opponent's just going to be rolling their eyes into the back of their head. But this is actually a pretty innocuously powerful card. It's neutral as well, but it could totally take over a game if you have some form of protection for it. Very cool. Batterer Head. 8 mana, 3/12 rush. After this attacks and kills a minion, it may attack again. So pretty good board clear for a lot of smaller minions, even if it dies. Very good with Inner Fire, as it is a big toughness boy, and it has a rush. I'm sure this will see some kind of play at some point. Don't know if it will be meta-defining, but great neutral option for clearing boards. Unseen Saboteur, 6 mana, 5/6. Battlecry, your opponent casts a random spell from their hand. Tremendous card. This is going to goof up a lot of combo decks that are trying to, do really specific combinations of spells. It's also going to be really bad sometimes because you'll do it and then your opponent will play the warrior thing that summons 2 copies of minions in your deck, or the mage thing that summons 2 6-cost minions. You could also just run straight into a Twisting Nether or something. But for the most part, I think if there's a meta where there are a lot of spells that need to be cast at specific times, Unseen Saboteur is going to be awesome, and amazing applications in Wild, as it does goof up quite a lot of decks. Hecklebot, 4 mana, 3/8 with Taunt, so Death Lord, essentially. But Battlecry, your opponent summons a minion from their deck. So once again, this kind of has applications with like Mechathune. I think we saw there was a similar effect to this in one of the class cards that ripped a minion out of their deck. Could goof them up. Could also goof you up. I think if your opponent's trying to do the warrior stuff where they summon huge minions, this might just kill you. So very risky. But with the specialist format in tournaments, like these types of cards are really important. Geppetto Joybuzz, 8 mana 6/6, Battlecry, draw 2 minions from your deck, set their attack, health, and cost to 1. A lot of people already saying the sky is falling because you can play this and get Malagos and Velen, and you can play them both, and then you can die, and then you can resurrect them, and then whatever. Obviously, massive combo enabler. That's just one of the things you can do with it. I'm sure there's just as busted or more busted things to do. But like I said, cool enabler. We'll see how well it does, and if it turns out to be busted, I'm sure it'll get nerfed to heck. Horde Clan Hog State, 2 mana 2/1 beast with rush, death rattle, summon a 1/1 Murloc. I mean, this is fantastic because we've all played Murloc decks where you've had to use a Bluegill warrior as a piece of removal to trade in. In this situation, you basically get that same thing, but you also get a Murloc that pops out. So I really like this as an early game card to trade in. Pretty bad, once again, if there's a lot of 2/3s in the format, but you can also just really annoy your opponent if they're trying to do stuff with 3/2s and stuff like that. I like this. Nice Murloc card as well. Traveling Healer, 4 mana, 3/2 Divine Shield, Battlecry, restore 3 health. Is this better than Earthen Ring Farseer? Probably not. Evil Cable Rat, 2 mana 1/1, add a Lackey to your hand. In those really dedicated Lackey decks, I think this will be great. It's also a Battlecry, so in that Rogue with the return all friendly minions to your hand, you can start just getting more lackeys. So yeah, in those dedicated Lackey decks, I'm sure it'll be great. On its own though, very weak stats. Spell Ward Jeweler, 3 mana 3/4. Battlecry, your hero can't be targeted by spells or hero powers until your next turn. Fantastic, good stats, kind of flexible effect there. Could prove to be really useful. Chef Nami, 7 mana, 6/6. If your deck is empty, summon 6/6 Grease Fire Elementals. Setting this up, obviously this is a big benefit, which I really like. And I also like how well this might combine with Mechathune, that you can go for the Chef Nami win, and if it doesn't work, then you can try and go for a Mechathune win. So yeah, I think it's cool, big benefit. I mean, that's a lot of damage. Your opponent really has to have an answer or else they're dead. It's pretty cool. And then we're back to the top. So that's all the neutral cards. Sorry it was a bit quick. Of course, we just wanted to make sure we get through them nice and quick. But thank you for checking these out. Once again, if you want to check out any of the class cards, they're all available on the channel as well. But until next time, stay safe, stay wavy, eat the rich, and get ready to rise with the shadows. Bye.